Sounds were very vital in our film noir to make the atmosphere very effective, and it just pulled everything together and made everything synchronise and added to the effect of each scene. So we wanted to make sure we were using sounds that were really effective and worked well with our scenes and the piece and the atmosphere we were trying to get across to the audience, so that it looked realistic and was effective and made them react in the way we wanted them to. So the first sound was a typewriting sound we needed to find. So I created a free account on freesounds.org, and that's where we actually ended up getting all our sounds from. So the first one here is the sound of a typewriter. It's really easy to find. I just searched for typewriter and I just sat and listened to a couple until I found one which I felt fitted. I then inputted it into Final Cut Pro, added it over the top of the typewriting font that we'd use in the text, and just turned the volume down a bit as it was quite overpowering, and it was turned out really effective. You could also change the speed of the sound as well, so it was quite a fast typewriter, and if you had some slow text you could slow down the speed, and that meant we could synchronise the movement of the text and the sound. So as well as searching for the other sounds, I decided just to search for jazz music as well, so I felt we wanted to have some sort of jazz style music that linked with old film noirs, so that we had that link there as well with the codes and conventions of film noirs in our film. So I was able to find this acoustic loop on there, and I felt it was quite effective jazz music. It's sort of like a modern style that they've used, just that single instrument playing over and over again. So I felt again it was showing you the modern style of our film, and I thought it was quite effective. It sort of drew your attention to the scene, and I felt we could make it quiet and have the sound of the news report over the top, and it was still there, and it was still quite effective, and they worked quite well together. So overall I was quite pleased with this sound as well. Like I said earlier, I'd searched for jazz music, and this was the second piece I found on freesounds.org, which I thought was again very effective. I felt this had sort of a romantic feel to it, so in our little rom-com montage we have after they meet, I decided to put this here as it worked quite effectively with the scene, and reflected the sort of romantic feel and atmosphere we wanted in the scene. So again, we had carried through the codes and conventions of film noir with the use of the jazz music, and also brought in the romantic genre into our film. So I searched for gunshots as well, and there wasn't a very effective one that we wanted that was just the sound of a gunshot. So I was able to find this one, and you can hear the gunshot at the beginning, and it just meant we had to cut it halfway, so you didn't have the sound of sort of the after shot as well. It sounded a bit like fireworks to me, so I didn't really want that bit in there. And the way we did this, so we just trimmed the sound of the gunshot, and then also added other music in as well to cover it up. So you just heard the gunshot, and then you had sort of like a sinister music over the top, so it didn't matter that there was that extra part to it. But we also needed to find the sound of heels when Nola's walking in a few scenes, as when we shot the film, the sound of her actually walking was blurred by the sort of the wind and the background noise. So we wanted to make it a bit more significant in the film. So I just googled again heel sounds, and we found one of heels walking on sort of tiles on the floor, so you can tell it's inside, but once we'd added the background music and everything on top of it, it was actually quite effective and worked really well. So again, that was really helpful when trying to emphasise some of the sounds in the film. As well as these sounds, we included sort of sinister music to add sort of like a horror effect to a few of the scenes which Lola's involved in, as you realise her true character and what she's truly about. And we had a lot of voice recordings as well, so we had the voiceovers from Simon's perspective and what he was thinking at the time, and we also had Lola's small voiceover that we recorded as well. So sound became a very vital part of the film, and links really nicely with everything else that is included in the media, such as editing and the mise en scene and things like that. and brings everything together and just adds to the effect of the film.